Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. Today I thought I would show you how I am eating on an egg fast. I start out my morning with some coffee and a tablespoon of Kerrygold butter and a tablespoon of my Viva Naturals MCT oil. So it's kind of like bulletproof coffee. And then whenever I'm ready to eat breakfast, I am just eating eggs. You can see in my blender there, I have a bunch of eggs that I've already blended up. This makes making an omelet really fast for me and a lot less messy. So I've got about 3 eggs in a skillet with about 1 tablespoon of butter. And as you can see there, I've got some cheese weighed out on my scale. You want to try to avoid overeating cheese on an egg fast, just because it can kind of hinder your results. Now that my omelet has flipped over, I'm ready to melt my cheese into the middle of it. And in order to get the correct ratios of eggs to fat to cheese, I'm adding some homemade mayonnaise. This is made with avocado oil and eggs, a little salt, and apple cider vinegar. And then I spice it up with some Cholula. Not gonna lie, it's pretty much this all day, every day, except I switch out the cheese. So now I'm having some lunch. This is the exact same thing as my breakfast. And obviously I swapped out the cheese for Colby Jack cheese. But the same deal, homemade avocado mayo and a little bit of Cholula. So I have made quick work of that omelet. I was really hungry and it tasted pretty good, so I inhaled it. Anyway, it is quiet time for the girls. It's about 1:13. It's not about 1:13. Why do I say that? No, it is 1:13. And I've made myself another cup of coffee. This is technically number 3 for the day and gonna be it. This has just a tablespoon of Kerrygold butter. I would tip it further, but it's very full at the moment and I'd rather drink the coffee than spill the coffee. So there we are. And I am gonna go drink this and I'm gonna continue reading Sick of Me. So far, this book has so many things that I want to underline in it. I like to reread, I like to go through and read books several times. I'll go through and read it kind of just as not a skim through it, but let me absorb the whole gist of the entire book kind of a situation, and then I'll go back and read it a second time where I'll underline things, take notes, that kind of stuff. Seems kind of like it's got a lot, that seems excessive. However, I find that more of the principles or the information in a book like this will stick with me if I do it this way. There was a book written back in the 70s called How to Read a Book, A Classic Guide to Intelligent Reading. See if you can see that there. And this book is written by Mortimer Adler, and it's a really good book. It's kind of a silly title just because it's of course, if you know how to read, you know how to read a book, but that's not true. Whenever you're trying to glean information from a book, there is a way to go about it, or study information rather. There's a much better way to go about reading a book than just cracking it open, page 1, chapter 1, and just reading it straight through. He's got a whole process laid out, and I really appreciate that because I am the type of person who will underline literally everything if I'm reading through a book for the first time, but not everything is, going to be the thing that stands out to me about the book, and then I wind up exhausting myself as I'm going through a book, and I won't finish the book because I will have spent too much time worrying about the details on the front end rather than trying to understand the book comprehensively. So that How to Read a Book by Adler is a really good way to go through and take stock of a book and then actually glean what you want to hold on to from that book. I'm trying to remember how I found out about that book. It was probably from the Well Trained Mind forums, honestly. I'm about halfway through this book. I am really loving this book. Really much, yes. Enjoying that greatly, and I cannot wait to reread it with a little bit more intention. And so anyway, I'll have to drink this coffee before it turns ice cold and read my book. Alrighty, it's time to eat again. I've made the girls' pizza and I'm gonna fry myself 3 eggs. And the egg fast, it can be pretty redundant, but the beauty for me personally is that it is so simple and I don't really have to think about my food the way that I was thinking about food whenever I was just eating regular keto or dirty keto. And I just really love not having to think about food, honestly. So this is pretty much it. I'm trying to avoid all sweeteners, and that's why you won't see me making egg fast pancakes or various little cheesecake type things on the egg fast. I'm just really trying to avoid sweeteners and reset my palate. And the egg fast is really good for me doing this. Anyway, that's all I have to share with you today. I would love for you to subscribe and stick around, and I just really appreciate y'all watching. Thanks so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video.